Hello boys and girls, Brad is here. I'm here to do a quick video on how to set up a skill game using making a height skill game. Already I can't English today, brain broken. Anyway, I've just put a few objects in. I'll just show you really quickly. There we go, my objects, woohoo. So that's all I've done. A few objects. We're going to set up a height skill game now. So to do that, we want to get some code out. But before we get any code out, I want a dummy object. That dummy object is going right by dummy's head. Yeah, like that. So dummy object, you'll see why shortly. For the code, we want 2 player event triggers, one to crash, one to bail out. We will need an interval trigger. We'll need an end event. What else? Set value events we'll need. A couple of them. State event we'll need. Filters. We're going to need a generic filter. I think that's it from the filters. Operators, we're going to need a height thingy. So a distance operator gets us our height thingy. You'll need a 2 input operator. I'm going to set that as max straight away while it's in my head. Data sources. Gonna need some of these. I'm not sure if I'll need another 1 or 2 yet. We'll soon find out. What else do I need? Do I need anything else? Just thinking. Not sure I do or I don't. Alright, let's start setting this up. Crash and bailout. We're going to get that to power our state event. State event is then going to power our end event. So if you crash or bail, this is going to turn something off and it's going to end the event. The thing it's going to turn off is the impulse trigger. The impulse trigger, we're going to do 60 ticks a second. That's going to be powering our set value event. We need to power our generic filter. Generic filter is going to, if true, set that. Comparison values is going to be these 2 things down here, the 2 data sources. The thing, this is going to be setting the value of the data sources. These are going to be getting their values from the height. The height is going to be One's going to be the dummy object, and source 2 is going to be his head. This is going to be getting its information from these. So one there, one there. And just thinking now, do I actually need this data source? Do I need a data source? Not sure I do. So let me just go to my track settings and start setting this up. We're going to go to skill game. Scores and HUDs. Primary score is going to be from a data source. Select your time if you want, that's entirely up to you. For scoring reasons, we're going to put this as descending. The format is going to be a distance format. The label, let's just put the label as height here. Doesn't really matter what your label is. There it is. And the source is going to be that. This needs to be greater. Just gonna put this to minus at the minute. And I'm hoping that works. How about that? Right, now, you know, I mentioned earlier about scores and HUDs and doing the sorting order to descending. The reason we've done descending is because when you're doing your medal limits, if you don't have it as descending, you won't be able to put the diamond time above, sorry, the diamond meter above the other medals. If, like I say, if you put it as descending, you can put your diamond medal above and then just set them all accordingly. What you could do if you so choose is if we place that in the primary score in 2, we're not going to have a secondary score, but we're going to have a counter, have that as a time and place that in 1 if you just wanted to have the time there anyway. And you can set that as you want. And again, with your primary score, no, not primary score. Where did I see time? Oh, there. You can set that to whatever you want. You need to leave that as ascending though. So that's if you wanted the time there anyway. But just do it as a counter, not as a secondary. And you can see the way I've set it up, when I go backwards, I'm not losing any meters. It's recorded my highest meterage. And the reason that is because it's comparing values. And if it goes any more than 0.1 below, it will trigger another score. But it's never doing that. It's always staying greater than. So it's only ever using these two here. The reason we need to have 2 sets of data sources and one that's never going to be activated is because we need the max value. So with the max value, you are able to get your rider sorry, to get your score, distance score, to go up and never come down. So that's why I've set it up that way. There are easier ways to set it up, but my maximum height is always remembered. Now let me just clarify something with the reason we've got the date event off. Why was that as on? The reason we're turning it off is if you have a bailout or a crash, it could still keep on counting. So this is just like a backup measure. So it turns those off. So even if you didn't have the end event, let's just get rid of that. You see, it stops the counter. Even though the time is going, if I bail out, it stops the meters going. I mean, what you could do if you wanted is, let's put that end event back. Is just, where are we? Filters. Just put a delay in there of God knows how long. I hate it when it does that. Just put a delay in there if you want. And I think a delay of 2 seconds would be more than enough. So when you died, it's done. Now I know it says track finished, but it should be recording your score of this, your height. So to go through this slowly, just to make sure. With the height, source 1 is the dummy object behind the rider. Source 2, either the rider's body or the rider's head. Dummy object is, well, is next to his head. That's the height away from his head it is. 0.01. Now I'll show you this. If I get this and I move it up or down, you can see the height distance changes. And nothing happens with that height distance until you get above the height of the dummy object. So really speaking, you want this to be, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it kind of you can get away with maybe something like 0.1. You could easily get away with that, but I'm going to put 0.04 just for goodies. Remember to change your grade to them. So what's everything on the right side here is being used. For the height, source, oh, I've done that, haven't I? Yep, I've already said those two. For the greater than, comparison value here, let me just do this. Comparison value 1 is on the right. Comparison value 2 is on the left. I've got the select true event going over there. Both set value events are going to the data sources individually. You've set your two input operator to max. Operand 1 is to the right, operand 2 is to the left. So basically, everything active is on the left. As for this part here, you can essentially see what's going on. Go into the scores. Primary score is going to be a data source. The placement is up to you where it goes. But I've put it in there top left too. Order descending, format distance, label can be whatever you want, but select the value source, which is going to be this 2 input operator. What else you could do if you chose, I've just noticed now and I should have thought about earlier. If I go to scores and HUDs, and again I've got a counter for the time. You don't have to have a counter there at all if you don't want. I'm just pop it there just for good measure. But if you wanted another counter as well, where are we? I've just seen it. Ah, this. You've got that height thing there. If you wanted, you could have that going to there as well. I'm not sure if it's going to work. Let's find out. No, it's not. I've never used those before. I could figure out what it means, but I can't be arsed. Alright, that was just a quick wondered if it worked type thing, so no. None. Well, that's it really. If your track's going higher than 1800 meters, change that there. Remember descending distance and the select value source. That's about it really. I'm not going to drone on about it. Any problems or questions, send me a buzz and I'll see what I can do. Right, I'm done. I'm out of here. Bye.